Welcome back to Remembering Smallville.
A Smallville rewatch podcast.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Kim.
And I'm Brett.
Guys, I'm so happy to be back with you this week for another episode of Remembering Smallville. I'm happy that we're not watching a sad episode.
Yes.
This one's great.
This would be
And
all happy.
We have a special guest star on this episode, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. So I thought we could talk about our favorite 90s television.
Oh, buddy.
So who'd like to kick us off with that?
Oh, I gotta think.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Okay.
Yes. Is Gilmore Girls 90s?
It's not. It's
I think it
late
starts like
2000.
2002.
2001, I think. Yeah.
I loved Home Improvement.
Okay. He was
Yeah.
in that.
Home
Yeah.
Improvement was amazing. Yep.
I liked Boy Meets World.
Oh, that was good too.
Boy Meets World's a good one. We actually watched a lot of The Nanny. Did you guys ever watch The Nanny?
No.
And that's not 90s, I don't think.
No?
Maybe. I love that show.
The
babe.
Nanny was a fun one. Oh, I actually, believe it or not, my whole family, we watched Lois and Clark. Not just because we watched Smallville, but we all
Oh.
watched Lois and Clark as a family.
It's a good one, but that's 70s or 80s, isn't
Lois
it?
and Clark, early 90s.
Oh, okay. Star Trek Voyager.
Yeah, I've watched that one as an adult now. Love it. Didn't watch it then. But your whole family was Trekkies, weren't they, Daniel?
No, just me and my mom and my grandma.
And Stargate.
Yeah, and Stargate SG-1, but that's like 98.
Oh.
So
Well, it's
it
hard
kind of
because
counts.
in the early 90s, we were 0 and 1 and
Yes.
2. Friends is 90s. I love that one.
Oh,
Friends is good.
Brett, you're right. The Nanny is the 90s.
what was the dog that solved mysteries?
Wishbone!
Wishbone.
I love Wishbone.
You guys watch Malcolm in the Middle?
Yeah.
Oh,
Never
yes.
really
I
did.
love Malcolm in
Scrubs?
the Middle.
Scrubs.
Scrubs
I
is
feel like
great.
that was
Scrubs
also
is 2000s.
2000s.
Let's see.
It's
Because for
hard.
us, I was 10 in 2000, and that's when I would be like a conscious human being with
Yeah.
choices.
It's
watch
it's
what
like
I
you're not
wanted.
conscious before you're like 10 years old.
I know.
Did you guys ever get into Law and Order?
I never
Dawson's
did.
Creek?
Mm-mm.
I watched a little bit of Dawson's. Buffy. We did.
I love
I did
Buffy.
that when I was older. Freaks and Geeks.
It's hard. We have to think about kind of the early 2000s too. I think we
Fresh
To
Prince.
me, that's what it is.
I loved Fresh Prince.
Fresh
and
Prince was great.
Sister.
Oh, yeah.
What about Charmed?
Charmed was a big one.
I never watched that.
My
Seventh
cousin was
Heaven.
really in Charmed. So I got to
Seventh
watch a lot of
Heaven.
it.
Yeah, I remember that. Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, that's
yeah.
not 1990s.
Yeah, but it was always playing on TV.
It was always playing on the TV.
The King of Queens. I love that one.
Oh, I loved King of Queens. I loved watching Reba.
Oh,
Seinfeld is 90s.
Seinfeld is good. I loved watching What I Like About You because I was in love with
Oh,
Amanda
yeah.
Bynes
But
at
that's
the time.
2000s.
I love that. Okay, Will and Grace and Step by Step.
Okay.
Everybody
That
Loves
70s
Raymond.
show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Most of these I don't associate with my youth, though. I associate
Okay.
them as watching reruns as a teen.
Or Smart Guy.
Oh, I loved Smart Guy.
Okay. Dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember
It
dinosaurs?
was like
not
full-
the mama, not the mama.
Yeah, dinosaurs.
Oh my god.
Memory unlocked for Kim.
Oh my gosh.
And of course, stuff like Bill Nye the Science Guy and all that jazz.
Magic School Bus.
Oh, I
Eyewitness
used that
series.
as a teacher. Ooh, the eyewitness from school. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun.
Here's one for you. Hercules or Xena Warrior Princess.
Xena.
Oh, yeah.
Xena.
These are some memory lanes.
Oh, I know.
Okay, now this one was just me as a kid, though. I did love the Batman animated series of the 90s.
Ooh,
That
who
was a
did?
good
Those were
one.
fun.
That's a cartoon.
Same with the
but-
X-Men series in the
Yeah,
90s.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The 90s were great for superhero content.
Yeah.
Okay, here's some more. Ready? Goosebumps.
Oh, yeah.
Terrified the pants off of me every week.
West Wing.
Didn't watch
Never
that
watched
one.
it.
Okay, how about Recess?
Oh, I
Loved
loved
Recess.
That
One
was one of
Saturday
the-
morning.
Yeah, it was Saturday morning television and I was asleep.
I loved Saturday
Yeah.
morning cartoons. Loved it. I would always make sure I got up early enough to see it all. Lots of DC TV shows, stuff like that. It was so good.
Okay, Third Rock from the Sun.
Never
No.
I
watched
never
it.
watched it.
Okay,
Frasier.
the original Whose Line Is It
Oh,
Anyway?
I still
Oh,
watch that. It's
That's
on.
great.
We
What's it
watch it
on?
with Bentley.
Paramount or HBO Max? It's on something. And it's on there. It's great.
My team name at work is called Whose Line, and it's because the points are made up.
Yeah.
Or everything's made up and the points don't matter.
matter.
That's our team logo, or that's our team motto
That's
at my work,
amazing.
is that everything's made up and the points don't matter. It's just because of that, which is really funny.
I love that.
So think it's talking about everything being made up. What a made up power of being able to divide into two people.
I wrote that this episode should be called Hermione. Because she has like a time turner in the third book because she wants to take more classes. And I was like, that's all this is.
It's so true.
So here we go. Season 2, episode 9, Dichotic.
When Clark tries to warn Lana and Chloe about Ian, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, an overachieving student who is surreptitiously dating both girls, they accuse Clark of jealousy.
Hi! How are you? I hope you're doing so good today. We're doing amazing. You want to know why? Because we're talking about Smallville, our favorite blast from the past show. If you love Smallville, and I know you do, because why else would you be here? Make sure you check us out on Instagram. Our handle is @RememberingSmallville. And if you can't remember that, write it down. Okay? So go to Instagram. I post there all the time. And I want to hear your comments. Did you love the episode? Did you hate the episode? Do you hate Nell as much as me? Let's join a fan club, the We Hate Nell fan club. And you could be the president or the treasurer. Are you good at counting money? So go to Instagram @RememberingSmallville. We'll become best friends. We'll hate Nell together.
Well, this episode is a love triangle squared.
Ew.
It's gross.
That is ew. What does dichotic mean?
2.
Mm.
Like a dichotomy.
Like dual.
Like a dichotomy is like two things that can't go together.
I love it.
And so the fact that he is trying to duplicate himself, but it's dichotic because he can't do really all the things. Now, here's the fun stuff. I was unofficially counting all of the times they mentioned duo, double, like multi.
2 places at once.
Yeah, like it was
did?
almost every scene.
Ooh.
So it's crazy. So when we first get into the episode, we're in a welding class.
Metal shop.
Do you all remember the TLC classes in high school?
Oh, yes.
TLC.
Yeah.
Tender loving care classes.
No, it stood for
Technology something.
Life and career.
Yeah.
So they were the classes that like you learned
Keyboarding.
sewing for a quarter or a semester.
Or cooking.
Or it was all of those, and like you got auto shop and you got
Yeah, I
Word
never even
working.
attempted to sign up for those types of classes. I took a cooking class, I guess.
yeah, those were
And
those
I
were
did
fun.
I did the preschool, so I helped run the preschool.
Oh, yeah.
Which is amazing.
That's, yep.
And we get a stupid foreshadowing thing where
I loved
Clark
it.
makes an
Clark's
S.
An S. And it's his S.
It's the
And
Superman S.
It's
Hey,
a
buddy, did
better
it-
S. We've improved from the chest S.
Yes. It looks good. And he said it's for Smallville. There was at least that. It was
Yeah.
for a different purpose.
I liked it.
I bet you that what's his face? Henry Chan, Peter Cho, what's his name? The student SBO who invented his suit is in that class.
Oh yeah.
Getting inspiration.
Did you guys? I just noticed this. Did you notice that Pete made like a candle holder?
Yeah.
He's like, do it simple. Make a candle
Because
holder.
Clark didn't get a great grade on his S.
Which looked
it looked
fantastic.
amazing.
Yeah.
He's like, well, it better be more practical. Shut up. The art is practical enough, especially for a high school student who's not going to do this for their life.
And then there's Ian that does an envelope opener.
It's terrible. He deserves an effing C.
And Ian, Jonathan Tay, I love him. Just like every girl my
I know.
age loved
Daniel
him.
asked me, is he good looking? And I was like, yes.
You
Ask
don't even have to
anyone.
ask.
Of course he's good looking. He's so beautiful. He's short.
I was going to say, if we have to complain, he's short.
But I'm 4'11", so he's not short to me. No boys are short to me.
yeah,
So
and I'm 6 feet. So guess what I have to do to kiss her? Bend way the heck over.
Jonathan wouldn't have to.
Why? What?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh, okay. I was like, Jonathan Kent?
No, Johnny Tay would not have to bend over to kiss Nicole.
That's
so
true.
There you go.
Clark looks and does a peek because Pete's egging him on, like, come on, Clark, just look. And Clark's like, fine. So he x-ray visions the list of grades, and he notices that Ian has gotten a C. And the teacher's like, we're going to post them on Thursday, and it's probably like Tuesday or something. And so it's just, one of those funny little x-ray vision moments, freaking Clark getting to cheat. But it's very, very important that he sees that because...
Well, and Ian
I hardly
confronts
think that's cheating.
Looking at
what I mean.
grades. He's not even changing the grades. It's fine.
Cheating in that nobody else gets to
Okay.
is what I mean. But yeah, so we find that out, and freaking Ian is pissed about this whole grade thing. 'Cause
Ian needs an A. He needs every single A he can get because he wants to get a scholarship. So he can get out of the hick town and move to an Ivy League school.
And he wants to do the Luther Corp. What is it?
it's probably
Luther
one of the
Corp
better
Foundation
scholarships
Scholarship
in
yeah.
the area. So,
Yeah.
but it's funny because Clark and Pete are walking out of the class afterward in the halls, and they are talking to each other silently, and then the sound cuts in. It looks like they're having like a straight conversation. Their lips are moving. You hear nothing. So
I didn't notice.
that's a really funny thing that happens right after this.
Aw.
I did not notice. What I did notice is Ian then goes in to talk to his teacher about his grade.
I need an A, bro.
And he tells him, I need an A. This is one of those, the meme of Will Ferrell. That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
It goes
yeah.
from, I need an A, to the teacher saying, no, you're going to get what you earned. And then he kills him.
So here's the thing. He lights the blowtorch. I thought he was going to burn his face off, and he does nothing with the blowtorch.
Well, so you pointed this out when we were watching it, and I was waiting for you to realize that he split into two. He has two of him
There's
there.
two of them in there.
I did not know this.
Right. So you wouldn't have known it the first time. You're like, so that's why I thought it was like, oh, she's noticing there's two different sides of two weapons. So watch this scene again, because you'll see, and because you were spot on. You're like, why does he have a blowtorch? He doesn't even use it. And I was like, oh, she doesn't know that he's two people yet.
They
So-
they film it in such a way that you wouldn't know there's necessarily two of them.
Oh. Wait, so then he kills him and
With his letter
blowtorches
opener, with his
face,
C grade letter
which
opener.
is kind of ironic.
He's like a scorned woman.
A scorned woman. I love it.
Totally, like I had that noted to talk about because Kim, when she saw it, thought, why does he have a blowtorch and then all of a sudden use a different weapon?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is so exciting. She doesn't know there's two of him yet.
It's really funny because that one stab of the letter opener would not kill you.
No.
They wouldn't take multiple, but it's like TV-14, so they're not going to be stab.
And
stab.
you'd have to be really strong, I feel
People
like.
in this village town die really fast and become unconscious at a wind, a gust.
Like just a puff.
Yeah, unconscious for the exact right amount of time.
And after the intro, we get to see Lex being real angry with a meter maid.
I'm obsessed with this.
He gets getting a ticket on his car and it's $25 and he rages.
Some of us
takes a
actually work
9-iron.
for a living.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm like, who peed in your Cheerios? Like, what is wrong, Lex?
He
He's
has
having a rough day.
He has a headache.
And he looks like a Matrix.
He
guy.
does. He's got a trench coat and sunglasses.
Yeah. He takes his 9-iron to the meter maid's car,
Uh-huh.
beats it to death.
And then he just drives away.
Yeah.
And you're like, did he just get away with it? He should be arrested.
Yeah.
That's
And it
literally what Kim
And
said.
it turns out there are repercussions. He does have some court-ordered
Yeah.
anger management classes, but we'll get to that.
And I'm sure he had to pay for the car.
And I just wanted you to note his license plate is Lex 14. We're on car 14 here.
Oh, I didn't even.
XIV, yeah,
Oh,
Lex
my
14.
Gosh, wow. 14.
Yeah,
I'll have
love
to look
cars.
this up. There might be someone that's tracked all of Lex's cars through the series.
Oh, we should. I love the little details that Smallville puts in. It's so great.
So our next scene, we see Clark helping Lana unload her things to go move into Chloe's. And me the whole time, probably because I know the future of the show, but honestly, you should all get it watching it this far. There is some serious anxiety of those two living together. That
Yeah.
just does not equal an easy time watching this series going forward.
Nope.
It's kind of cute. Clark easily hands a box down to Chloe's dad, who's like, "Oh my gosh, this box is heavy."
I don't
he, like,
even think I
struggles.
noticed. That's awesome.
It's really funny.
I love it so
And did
much.
you notice Chloe's house? Like, I just assumed in Smallville they all live on farms, but they live in this cute little neighborhood, and the houses are really close together.
It's a Luther Corp development.
That would make sense. It looks just like it would be that. So I
Yeah,
love it.
as the scene starts, there's a Luther Corp neighborhood,
Oh,
and I'm
love
assuming all of the employees
live there.
can live there.
Aw, cute.
Facebook did something like that, just for anyone that knows. It was one of their perks and one of their retention plans. They actually wanted to develop it as their own zip code so they could have their own tax
Oh my gosh.
situation for it. But they would let their employees have rent-free living at their
Like
location.
campus?
You can live there.
Oh wow!
They thought it would make it for more productive work, and also it's a retention thing. Now if you leave the company, not only do you have to get a better salary, but you have to factor in paying for rent to leave.
Oh, wow.
Quite the retention tool.
Yeah.
When we get to the farm where Jonathan is working on the tractor, which he calls an old girl, there's funny videos that you only understand if you've experienced this. So if you've ever jacked up a car and then gone under it to work on it, there's this anxiety of, well, what if that jack just fails? I've been under a car before where I've heard like the jack kind of creak.
Oh.
And there are now meme videos that you can find on like TikTok and Instagram where it shows a guy working on a vehicle underneath and he hears a creak and he looks over and it's held up with like 6 matches or, it's something that they improvised to lift the car or something. And that is what was going through my mind while Jonathan is working on this. Like, what does he have holding it up? And then it crushes him, breaks his leg.
And we get 2 X-ray shots from Clark using his X-ray eyes in under 10 minutes.
Yeah.
In this
yeah.
episode, we get him doing it with the grade book and now with his dad's leg.
Because he
And
rescues him.
And he gets a cast all the way up to his giblets
That's
for a tibia
Superman
break.
Blue.
I know, Superman Blue. That's a good looking cast.
Yeah.
Kim's grandfather can tell you how mobile you can actually be with a full leg cast.
He had a full leg cast and got my grandma pregnant. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
So one of our first little references to duoism or whatever we're going to call it is right after Jonathan gets saved by Clark and we x-ray him, we jump quickly to the torch where Ian is putting on the flirt with Chloe, and Chloe
She likes it.
talks about how she wishes there were 2 of her. And that as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh gosh, are we going to have this? And we do. I will point out every single one. But then we jump to the hospital.
At the hospital, there's this new doctor. What's her name?
Dr. Bryce.
Dr. Bryce. Helen Bryce. That's right.
Oh.
Dr. Helen Bryce.
Just remember her being really attractive.
Yes. This actress is
Hottie.
on Secondhand Lions,
Oh.
if that
I love that
matters to
movie.
anyone.
She's the mysterious woman.
Yes. And she is the doctor. Lex comes by just to check in. He finds that doctor attractive, yes.
Yeah.
But doesn't really go anywhere yet.
And then when we get over to the Talon after this, we see that Chloe is having that interview that she had talked about with Ian at the torch. And they're flirting it up. And he asks her out, which is a major plot point that we don't want to skip over, is that Ian says, let's go out. And they're planning on going on a little date right after this.
Can we also talk about how guilty Martha is starting to feel for working, right? Because if she had have been there, he might not have broke his leg, which doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't. I think the whole point is it's a 2-man job. And they had agreed, I'm assuming, to work on the tractor together.
Yeah.
And she was gonna. And he was like, I have to get this done today. I can't wait for you to be ready.
Yeah.
I think that happens a lot with relationships when one spouse says, I'm going to, and they fully mean they're going to, but they're not going to in your time frame.
I have never done that ever.
Okay.
That seems like something I do on a daily basis.
Right? That's why they call it a honey-do list.
Like the batteries in our back door. The back door sensor batteries. Like the smoke alarm in my office.
In the whole house.
Like the missing light bulb in the light in my office. Like
3
the
things
light
just in this
fixture
office.
the
Just look around the
garage.
room.
You'll find them.
Like
So it
the
happens.
holes I was going to patch in the walls in my office.
But those things don't stop you from doing your job, like fixing up something broken on your tractor. So
Yeah, of course.
That's true. But when we're at the Talon, we get our second fun little reference to doubles. And Lana has some homework that she's struggling with. And turns out it's simultaneous equations.
Oh, I get it. It's a joke. Simultaneous. Oh.
Oh, that's painful.
Yeah,
I
this
didn't
is
catch that. That's, oh, wow.
there's more.
This is going to be fun, isn't it?
Yeah, he's like, simultaneous equations giving you grief. I can help you. Of course he can. That butthole. Oh. But, Clark is seeing the fishiness behind Ian because he noticed that
Chloe and Ian have plans, and now he's got
I can
plans
help you with your
Lana.
homework right now. And so Clark's like, man, what a jerk. He's going to blow off Chloe for Lana.
That's what I thought.
But then he has to go get naked in order to divide like a cell.
What'd you think of that, Kim?
Well, and I was like, how do you all of a sudden have another pair of clothes?
He
He
buys
must
two
always
pairs.
have two of everything.
But what if he wanted to split into more?
So
Could he split
I
into more than two?
Don't know.
I was more than happy to have Johnny JJ shirtless.
Two of them.
And he was naked, but it didn't show it.
Yeah. TV 14. But did you like how that happened? That he like escaped from his own back?
I was like, this is like a Voldemort thing.
I know. See, it's very Harry Potter this episode.
For sure.
I just don't understand why. It'd be one thing for me if it was more like a molting where his back came out of a back instead of face coming out of a back.
Yes.
Like if he came out backwards and stepped out backwards
Yeah.
and then would step in. Because how does the reabsorption happen?
No
Ew.
idea.
Willingly?
They just kiss and he
Sucks him back up.
They do a moon landing to get back in.
Be modern.
yes.
My gosh. We call it moon landing.
Splashdown.
Oh man. Speaking of moon landings, we go to the farm. And well, Jonathan is struggling with some pride because, I can do it on myself. Well, I don't need it. And he just really needs to.
You guys, this is how
calm
I
the
am when
freak
I'm
down.
sick because I don't like to sit around a lot. I have a hard
Yeah.
time. So when I'm sick, my poor family, I'm like, no, I can do it. And I'm so mean because I don't feel good.
Daniel's the opposite. He's like, I'm sick. I can't do anything.
So is Brett.
But guess what? We get another quote where freaking Martha says, "I'm sorry I couldn't be in two places at once."
Because she couldn't help her husband at the
And
tractor
be-
and be at Lionel's.
See, it's like every scene.
And I just think Jonathan needs to calm down. Your wife is working so you can
Pay your
afford
bills. Yeah.
electricity and food.
Yes.
Well, I think that we spouses go through this where, you kind of expect that one another can help pull weight of what you're doing
Yeah.
more than is actually possible. We deal with that all the time.
Or you feel guilty. I think that Jonathan is feeling guilty for getting hurt and he can't do the work he needs to. And sometimes that comes off on other people.
Well, but there's a nice thing where Jonathan's like, you need to feed the cows. Already done, Clark says. Oh, well, what about the chicken? I already cleaned the chicken coop. So Clark's already done all the chores that Jonathan needed done, which is great. I mean,
Yeah.
that super speed really helps. Who even needs Jonathan when Clark can super speed all of his chores in 5 minutes?
Seriously.
I know. I'm like, why is Jonathan doing any of the chores?
Yeah.
Because the Kents want him to have a normal teenage life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
but
that
it
he's
would-
ever had one since the show has started, but they try.
Listen, my 10 minutes of chores growing up versus Clark's 10 minutes of chores, very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so in our next scene, it's back at school. And what sign is on the door of welding class?
Canceled.
He's never missed a day, that teacher. So they're
He
really
loves
weirded out by
metal
it.
shop so very much. He'd never take a sick day. It's fishy. He's not there.
And while he's talking with Lana, Ian mentions double angle equations.
Oh my God.
Oh. Like, what the heck?
No.
They're really laying it on thick with this episode.
Lana and Ian had a great night, and Ian just straight up kisses her. And she
Yes.
doesn't
Bold.
She doesn't
She
say no.
doesn't say no, and she doesn't really say yes. She's more just like, oh,
No, but she closes her eyes. She was there.
yeah.
And okay, so right now she's thinking about it. And then as soon as he leaves, she was like, oh, I got kissed. And it wasn't Whitney. This is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Kind of innocent, and she looks very young and innocent too.
Yeah.
I think they want to make her look.
They made her look heckin' 16 in
Yeah.
this scene right now.
It's because all these people have been through a lot, and they should be more suspicious of people. And I think they wanted them to look extra innocent to help play off that fact that they're just so willing
probably
to go
right.
in with it.
That's
I mean,
so
when
true.
2 weeks ago, Lana was totally okay with the secret admirer
Oh, I
that threw
know.
her. Yeah.
She's over Byron. Who's Byron?
Yeah, Byron who?
I like Ian now.
Byron knows poetry, but Ian helps me with math.
Oh man, one of my favorite things in this episode is the bonding that Lex and Dr. Bryce get to have in anger management, and then like the chemistry that they build really, really quickly in this episode
Yeah.
is great.
So I
know.
wrote down, there's a blackboard with anger management tips. And I thought I would share with you what the 5 tips are so you not be so anger.
Oh, I would
Please.
love to know.
So to manage your stress. 1, get enough sleep. 2, talk to someone. 3, leave work at work. 4, exercise.
Oh.
5, eat right.
Huh.
And you'll never be stressed again.
You got to think about these. I think every single one of those things is something I need to work on.
Even talk to someone.
I have a problem with this. She's a doctor.
Uh-huh.
She drop kicks an orderly.
Yep.
You'd be fired.
Yep.
You would not still have a job.
Unless,
Small town medicine.
well, there could be
Unless she
something
had a
around.
case. Like if that orderly was like, here's your medicine, Mrs. Flanagan. And it's like gonna kill her. And it's some crazy dose. And she's like, what are you giving? Wait.
Well,
and
then
maybe
you-
Or
she
if she
stopped.
has a case where the orderly was being sexist toward her.
Oh, okay. I'll give
So
you
it's
that.
like,
I'll
okay,
give you
well,
that.
he was wrong, but you're also wrong. So what we're going to do is you're going to go to anger management and he's not going to be sexist anymore. And that's how we solve the situation.
All
That
right.
could have been something because it is a true fact that female doctors have had a hard time for a while. It's probably less so now. I'm not sure. I'm not a doctor. Couldn't speak to it. But that could be a thing. They are great. And she's
But
like,
I don't
not.
think you should try to date someone who's also in your management
I
class.
mean, like when you're an addict, you shouldn't date an
Yeah.
addict.
Yeah. I just feel like these two are just gonna rage at each other if they ever dated and just like kill each other with
Hey,
raging hormones.
we'll be great.
It'd make for good television, so I guess go for it.
Yep.
Do you think they're gonna get together, Kim?
I think it could last a couple episodes.
Yeah, a 3-episode arc maybe.
Yeah. That's all it is with Lex.
Yeah, right.
Let's jump over to the torch. At the torch, Clark decides to confront Chloe. Then, as Ian comes in, he confronts Ian, and Ian flips it right back on Clark because Clark is saying he's playing both of you. I thought that he was with Lana last night, and Chloe's like, oh, well, he made me promise. You know, he's blowing her off for me. You know, all this stuff.
This is tale those old as time.
You're right. And Ian's like, well, and Clark to Ian is like, you're playing both these girls. And Ian's like, you mean like how you did?
Like a fiddle.
It's like not even true though.
No.
I know. Well, he did unintentionally.
Yeah.
But I don't think it'd be that out in the open that the whole school knows.
True.
I don't know. Girls talk.
Yeah.
Well, the fact that both these girls talk to him. Lana says you send off so many mixed signals.
That's true. It's hard when you're super and you can't tell anybody you're super.
I know. It really is. You can't really blame Clark. We all know that. But it is also like, how does Clark defend himself without saying, oh, well.
I got magic in my eyes.
Pretty sure that's a selling point. there.
That's true.
That's how he should tell everyone.
I know. I got magic in my eyes. Speaking of magic in your eyes, Clark uses his magic eyes to do some investigations into Ian.
Does he just use his regular eyes or does he use like X-ray vision?
I don't know.
I don't think he used any more X-ray vision in this episode.
No,
All we
he
know
doesn't.
is he brings Pete with him.
Yeah, they go look around the metal shop because of reason.
Because something seems suspicious. Nobody else has
guys-
found the dead body.
I knew
I know.
they would find the dead body and it falls on Pete and I can't take it.
And then they almost get exploded, which thanks to Jeff, we know that explosion, just the power of that explosion would have killed them.
Yep. But Clark gets a glimpse of Ian right before he disappears, or one of the Ians.
I want to know how many Ians are running around. There could be like 30.
Ooh, there's only
I wonder if he
double
can only handle
jokes.
2.
I think only 2. And so Clark decides, I gotta go talk to Chloe. We almost got murdered. And they're kissing on the couch.
Yeah, in the
Ian
dark.
and Chloe. KISSISSIPPI.
Mississippi.
Yeah.
Mississippi.
And then right here, Clark accuses Ian of straight up murder right there. And they're like, whoa.
Chloe's like, I've been macking on this dude for like 6 weeks. And okay, an hour.
It was 3 hours.
Yeah, we've been together this whole time. It's literally impossible.
And so Clark's like, fine, goes to the Talon, confronts Lana about it. And he learns that Lana was told the same thing by Ian. Oh, well, don't tell Chloe I'm blowing her off for you.
It's such drama. And both girls are kind of keeping thoughts to themselves. They're living together. They're roommates. Oh, no, I'm not with Ian. No, I'm not with Ian either. Yet they both are trying to spare each other's feelings because Ian is telling them what he needs. He's saying, tell Lana this. Tell
Yeah.
Chloe this. They do it. And so it's keeping them a distance. And we learned that the only reason that Ian is with them is because he's using Lana's connections with Lex to help him get the scholarship. And he's using Chloe's connections as a writer to be a letter of reference, essentially, to help him get the scholarship. He doesn't really like either one of them. He's just using them because he got a C.
Yes.
Okay, so have any of you ever played two people or been played as one of the two?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Daniel.
You played them, didn't you?
Well, okay.
Oh, there's no justification. Just know you're a horrible person, and now we got to hear the story.
I was a dumb kid in high school, and there were just a few girls who I could call up at any time, and they could make out with me.
Sick.
And I never had any intention of dating them.
You just use them.
I mean, they were
For their
using me
tongues.
back, but I
had a saying for that when I was in high school. I'd say, "Ooh, my lips are itchy. Ooh, my lips are getting itchy."
lips.
Ooh.
And so it meant I needed to go out and find me someone to help scratch them.
Oh my gosh.
So, Nicole, were you successful at finding someone to itch that scratch?
Always.
Scratch
It's
that
high
itch?
school. There are people everywhere.
I was not that lucky.
So, were you ever played, babe, or did you play?
I got played, but probably not like this, I don't think. I think it was always just like I thought it was more than they thought. You know.
You were always like more into it
Yeah.
than they were.
Yeah.
I learned from being a dum-dum and changed and tried to become a nice guy again, and it helped. I married Nicole, who only likes nice guys.
Good work.
Yay.
So we get back to the hospital where Lex is not giving up on Dr. Bryce. And now they get to bond over their daddy issues. So they bonded over their anger management issues. Now they get to bond over daddy issues.
Yep. And we learned that when Dr. Bryce was a brand new med student working in an ER, Lex shows up super duper drunk and throws up all over her and causes problems. And that was their first meeting.
Yep.
Cute? Question mark? Not so cute. I would be pretty put off.
Oh yeah.
So the fact that in this one conversation she changes her mind and agrees to go out with him.
Well, I think Lex
Yeah.
very much puts off an aura that he is not some rowdy teen.
I think so. Maybe he just really is like, no, I'm not that same guy.
Well, you can tell she loves the chase. Like she loves being
True.
chased. She's like,
Yeah, but she gave up. They've only met thrice.
I
And
know.
the chase is over.
Yeah, right. I know. She's not fighting very hard.
But she does agree, and they're going to go out, and that'll be fun. They have great chemistry.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think she's cute. And I love her sass. She'd keep him in line.
Yeah. And she's obviously smart. She's a doctor.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this next kind of sequence is kind of a 3-scene thing that is excellent. Very, very smart of Clark and Pete. They're thinking through, and they're like, he must be somehow doing something magic here, right? There's something going
He's
on.
dating both of them. This can't be possible. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, so they decide to page him from Lana and Chloe,
Yeah, they set a trap.
which you wouldn't know what paging is if you haven't grown up.
Did any of us ever have a pager? I never had a pager.
I never had a pager, but I know what it is.
My dad had a
Same.
pager.
So did my dad.
And so, you would definitely reach out to my dad on a pager.
So, like, how does that work? I'd never used one.
You wear it on your belt.
Yes.
You know, and it sends a signal to you saying what phone number is trying to get a hold of you. And
Yeah.
you have to go find a phone and get a hold of that person.
So a pager has a phone number too, so you can actually like call it, but it doesn't.
You can't talk on it.
You
It
can't
Well,
talk
yeah.
on it. You
just
just
alerts you.
Yeah, it
You
just
can't
alerts
send-
the
I thought
person
you
that
could
you're
send,
trying
like,
to contact.
Send a
them.
message. I think you could
I
send
think
letters.
the newer ones you could.
It was like a text message.
Yeah, I got to the point where it was like that.
Like
but
a
then,
one-
very
one-way text.
minimal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's from your phone, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like it wasn't from a text phone, like it was from your
Yeah.
house phone.
Uh-huh.
So you had to punch in certain numbers to be like, oh, it's coded. I can say emergency or help or call me when you can, or it would be like very minimal things. You'd have
And
to
it
have,
would
like, a
just give the
list.
number that it came from.
So then you go find a
So
payphone.
they went to Chloe's house
yeah, and
and
paged him.
him, and then they went to the Talon and paged him and
Probably.
said
I don't think
nothing.
They thought that far.
But it
through.
said come at 5:30. So
Yeah.
how is that a thing you can do?
I have
Meet
no idea.
5:30 number.
These could have been more advanced pagers.
It's 2000. I mean, this is cell phone era. This is 2000.
Yeah.
Comment
It's
if
possible.
you are informed on pager details.
None of us ever used them, so we can't speak perfectly to them, but we know the concept.
Yeah.
mostly.
I'm assuming it is some type of textable message.
Especially
has to be.
in this where
Just
they
very
can
short
send
ones.
text
It has to be.
messages.
Yeah.
because I got a page to meet me at
But
5:30.
what's great is right at 5:30, Ian shows up
He's so
at
punctual.
Chloe's and at the Torch, and Clark is watching Chloe's, and Pete is watching the Torch or the Talon. Shows up at the same time. They call each other, which is funny because Pete pulls out his phone. He
Doesn't dial.
Yeah, he's there. Like, it was so fast. It was faster than even a smartphone could
I
be
wonder
right
if
now.
the call was going,
Maybe.
and they just said, "Hold on."
Could
And he puts
be.
the phone down and then just picks it up. I think I would assume.
But then Chloe ends up at the Torch, and Lana decides to confront her.
And Chloe tries to kind of lie and play it off, and she's like flustered. Yeah. So yeah, me and
She was
Ian,
definitely caught red-handed.
we been kissing a bunch.
We be kissing a bum.
We be sharing lips.
They're like, oh,
our
me
lips
too.
were itching.
I was with Ian last night too. So let's talk. Who did he get further with, Chloe or Lana?
Chloe.
100%. I totally agree.
They're making out for 3
I
hours.
totally agree.
Yeah, I think Lana would be harder to break through than Chloe.
Yeah.
She's much more reserved.
Yeah. Chloe's like, yeah, let's have some fun.
But then they get to bond over being played by the same boy.
And they
And
kind
then
of
they
decide,
turn on
Yeah, they
him.
decide enough is enough, girl power to the end.
Yeah.
But Ian shows up and is like, oh no, ladies,
Ian Squared shows up.
which freaks them out.
Yeah.
Do you think that one of his personalities was always with Chloe and the other one was always with Lana? Or do you think they swap back and forth?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't know.
If it had been like a longer thing, like a whole movie, I think you would have seen stuff like that where you would have known.
Yeah.
Kind of like The Prestige.
I was going to say, just like The Prestige.
Does that make you think of that a little bit?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he shows up and it's time to go murder the two cute girls. So,
Why?
Oh my gosh.
Why?
I have no idea.
Guys, these are high school kids. The solution has
It's
to
to
be
murder.
extreme always.
yeah.
So
No one
dumb.
can find out that I cheated. I better kill someone. What?
I would be like, when I go to college classes and I go to high school classes, I retain all that knowledge and I reabsorb it into my one singular brain. What difference does it make?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The fun part is that Pete and Clark show up. They're not there. They can't find them. And he's left a
Suicide
note. And Clark's like,
He wanted me to see this.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
I don't know. What are you talking
Wait,
about?
wait. We have another double because
Oh,
Ian
yeah.
Squared stops him and goes, "Hey girls, how about a double date?"
I know. I think that's the last of the double comments. So
Hey, did anyone notice where he takes them is the same dam where the What If episode happened?
Yes.
And the
Yeah.
kid was catching the rain. in his
Yes,
face?
totally. It's a very, very popular place to kill yourself. Put that down.
and Clark shows up.
Those girls are not trying that hard.
No.
I will say, Lana's barely like,
Well, and then Chloe gets
Ow.
knocked out.
Yeah.
This will be another concussion. And then he's like lifting her up, throws her off. Clark somehow travels faster than terminal velocity.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he could have pushed off downward from the top of the dam.
it's garbage.
To
and
go faster.
She's falling that fast and he just catches her 1 inch from the ground.
Mm-hmm.
She's dead.
Yeah.
She hit
Yeah,
his arm
yeah.
so hard.
Yeah, there's no difference between that and hitting the ground or hitting two steel poles.
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
exactly.
split into 3 equal
Exactly.
pieces. But it is another Lois Lane catch. So it's,
Yes.
it's the thing. It's
Who did he
the
catch the first time? Lana, and
Yeah.
now Chloe.
Uh-huh.
Um,
And then he goes back up because luckily Lana was too involved with struggling to see all this.
no, seriously.
He runs back up and they're like, what?
Clark catches Chloe somehow, saves her somehow, and brings her back up to the fight and just stops caring about Lana for a second. It's just like, Chloe, my darling.
Why would
Let
he
me
not
throw
leave
you at the sign
Chloe
first.
down there?
I
Like,
know.
I don't know.
where she's safe.
I know.
Not to where he could go throw her off again.
So then, of course,
guess.
he gets a metal pipe and hits Clark in the back.
And it just
'Cause there's always a
immediately
metal
bends.
pipe around.
I
Yeah.
know.
So
Who's leaving these metal pipes around?
my favorite is that Lana has been struggling with Ian. Didn't
Yeah.
see Clark come.
No, 'cause she
didn't
was
see Clark
facing
jump
the
down.
other way.
So she's hanging off and somehow yells for Clark to save her. So
Does she really?
right here, she's starting to hang off the bottom. She doesn't know what's going on. He throws Ian, and then he hears Lana scream.
Does she really yell Clark?
She does, absolutely. Clark!
That is crazy. She doesn't know he's there. Maybe
And-
that's just the name you yell. in that
Clark
town.
will
When
save me.
I'm in trouble, I yell Clark.
Yeah.
So I have a question for all of you. Have you ever tried to hold on to something that you're hanging from?
Oh my gosh. When someone's hanging on to you.
We
Yeah.
talked about that in the shaky guy episode a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Pulling someone up was impossible, but even holding on would be so hard because I can't hold on with my own body weight.
I can't hold
No.
on with 2 hands for longer than
Oh,
about
I
5
know.
seconds.
I get making
Yeah.
suspense. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he catches her just in time.
I think we
but
haven't been
And
horse riding
adrenaline.
enough. I think if we all rode horses more often, we'd be a lot stronger.
I guess so.
She's
So
like pulling horses up mountains and stuff.
I have
Hold
a
them
problem
reins.
with this. Where does Ian go?
You'll see.
Oh, I will?
One twin is dead. He fell off. Toast. The other twin is unconscious. They turn him in and he goes to get help.
I never hear this.
You don't, but you will.
Oh. Okay. All right.
So don't worry about it.
Done.
It'll
Don't
all
worry.
be fine.
Don't think so much about it, Kim.
I'm like, wait, he's still out there.
Yes.
And you're just kinder than I am. Because she went, she's still out there. What happens?
You said
Yeah,
nothing?
he said he didn't know.
Just assume that it's standard in this series. If a bad guy doesn't die, they get sent to either
The creepy
jail or
hospital.
a hospital.
And let me just say that this whole scene, we had Chloe being thrown off the damn wall, and then a fight on the damn wall, and then like
Clark jumping off the damn wall.
yeah, and then
So
coming
they can
back
take
up.
all the damn pictures that they want.
Yeah, he threw him at the damn map.
Yeah.
And, yeah, all that stuff. Like, damn.
National Lampoon's Vacation. Vegas Vacation, my friends.
After this, we get back to the Kent farm, and we're resolving things finally.
And where Jonathan finally says, "You like your job. You're good at it. I gotta stop being so jealous and shape up."
Yeah, which I appreciate.
Oh, fine. For once, it's been 2 seasons of him being a butthole.
Yeah, well, he's not being cucked here. So if you think so, you're dumb.
Yeah.
He's literally just being like, oh, I need to be actually an equal partner in this relationship and not be trying to hold my wife back from being able to do what will help in our relationship.
Then we get a pretty rare Lana and Chloe scene where there's not anything going on. The problem's now resolved.
I really liked this scene.
Yeah,
and
tell
I
us
love
about
their
it.
outfits.
Yeah, I love the bond.
I thought it was really fun for them to talk about, obviously, the boy that had constant problems. They want to be open and honest with each other. And then Chloe, in a very friendly way, said, hey, you're not a guest here. You live here. This is your home now. And you can act like that. You don't have to earn your place here. She uses a tender moment talking about how after her mom had left them, her dad let her know she didn't need to earn a place in their family. And she says, here are the house rules.
I loved them because there are house rules too.
They're the best house rules. You're not allowed to
So
do the
cute.
dishes until it's piled all the way to the top.
No making your bed till after 5 p.m.
And
Your bedroom floor is definitely a
despite
closet.
what my dad says, the
So
bedroom
good.
floor is the closet.
I loved
And I
it.
thought that was super cute.
And then those 2 girls have obviously been chatting that whole night, bonding, and they decide to talk to Clark.
And so Clark
at the
gets
Talon.
to kind of lay down how he feels. They get to lay down how they feel. And they come to kind of a solution. Let's not do this weird triangle thing anymore.
Let's just be friends. I was never lying to you girls. I was never saying those things because I was jealous. We've never actually dated.
Mm-hmm.
So give me the benefit of the doubt that I'm here looking out for you and your interest. We're friends. Let's be friends. Let's start over. And they all kind of agree to it.
Yeah. And then Clark goes outside. And this funny moment where he's like looking around a little bit, you know, you kind of just get this tying up of the episode thing. And Clark's like, oh, he's so, and Nicole right there is just like, oh, he's so beautiful.
Well, he's just standing there outside the Talon looking like he said what he wanted to say and he's feeling good and happy. And I just thought he looked so beautiful. and then I noticed on the building next to the Talon is the Flapjack House.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like this funky sign right next to the Talon, the Flapjack House. And it's been there for a couple episodes.
But we just
But-
always miss it.
I finally got a really good view of it. So as he's walking down the street, you'll see the Flapjack House. And I want to go there.
Yeah.
so
I bet
for-
it's good pancakes.
So for me, in their conversation, I really was annoyed even more with the girls in this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of are annoying.
Like
Well,
they do
we
reach
made
a
a
resolution,
yeah.
but they still are buttholes about it.
We made a mistake, but it was our mistake to make. Okay, yes, but
You almost
Chlo-
died.
Chloe, you've been friends with Clark for several years now.
Yeah.
He's always been there for you. And he says, hey, you should probably be careful. And the first thing she does is dismiss him right away. And I get there's been things that have been rough, but he's got years of credibility built up. Like, I hate when people are in a relationship and their credibility gets discounted like that, and it's automatically that you assume the worst, and you're thinking, what? Kim is amazing at this. Like, I will do something really dumb, and she's just like, I know that's not your intention because I've known you for 13 plus years. She's really good at that type of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it really bothered me that they were being tools about it. So I'm glad Clark put them in their place. We've never actually been boyfriend and girlfriend, so I can't be a jealous boyfriend.
Exactly. Yeah. So what's the music in this episode, Brett?
All right, music in this episode. In Dichotic, the music is In a Young Man's Mind by Mooney Suzuki, Uneven Odds by Premonition, I Ain't Waiting Here for You by Boss House, I Want This Perfect by Son of Adam, I Wish I Cared by Aha, and Settle Hills by Dem Hills.
Most of those bands I hadn't heard of,
Yep.
which is typical. So is this episode super or man?
It's man, in my opinion. I wish we could have done a double feature on this, but the episode before Ryan and the episode after, I think, are standalone. So this one had to be a standalone, but in my opinion, it should have been a double feature.
Yeah, I think it's a man. It was just, there's some things that are kind of fun, but whatever. It's meh to me.
Okay, Kim?
Man.
I'm going to put this one as super.
What?
And
Oh.
I'm going to put this one as super for a couple reasons. Some that I cannot mention in this, but I will circle back to it when I can.
I know what you're talking about.
But I do think this one is a fun watch. Doesn't add a whole lot to the story, but you do get to see Lana and Chloe moving in together. You get to see a little bit of relationship tears. There's nothing incredible in this episode.
You do get
but,
the Lois Lane catch, which is good.
but I do think this is super for future reference.
Yeah, but you could skip it.
It's not as fun. You need to watch that.
Sometimes, what if people are in a rush and they can't watch every episode? Is this what you're going to make them watch?
No, this is not on every episode, but you should watch this one.
Well, on that silly note, let's end.
Hey, thanks for remembering Smallville with us. Join us next week when
The Kents have dinner.
A star is missing.
And Lex fingers an octagon.
Four friends on a mission: Daniel, Nicole, Brad, and Kim. Talking Smallville every week. The podcast a gem. Smallville nights we laugh out loud. Every week they make us proud. Daniel, Nicole, Brad, and Kim. In their world we find our thrill. Heroes fly and legends grow. Stories shared, they make it flow. From Clark Kent to Lex's schemes, they uncover every dream. Smallville nights we laugh out loud. Every week they make us proud. Daniel, Nicole, Brad, and Kim. In their world we find our thrill. You're watching tales of old. Their voices pure gold. Every twist, every turn. With them there's much to learn. Smallville nights we laugh out loud.